So welcome, everybody. I hope you can hear me well. I'm Carolina Meucci from the Communication Office of MIB Trieste School of Management, and I'm here with some colleagues of mine, and together we will try to give you a complete overview of this master program in the next few minutes. So, first of all, the Master in Insurance and Risk Management is one of the flagship programs of MIB Trieste School of Management. I guess you have already asked some information about this master school, so probably you have already got an idea about who we are. But let me just sum up in few minutes some topics about our school. Our school was born more or less 35 years ago as a no-profit consortium, answering to the needs of the corporate world and the academic world. And so we burn like a link, like a bridge to try to link these two worlds, the academia and the business world. And we provide nowadays international master programs, international MBA provided in English. And so we welcome students from all over the world, more or less 100 countries are represented, being represented in our classes since the last 20 years. But also we provide some courses in programs in Italian to answer the needs of the Italian corporate world, business world. So we offer corporate master executive education programs and short courses and courses on demand to the business world. More or less since 2000, our programs have been taught in English, as I told you before, so we welcome students from all over the world. We are, let's say, a medium-sized business school, hosting every year some hundred of students in the full-time courses, in the courses for graduates, and thousand managers and entrepreneurs in the business, in the executive education area. Two of the two most important, let's say, program in English offered for the new graduates and young professionals are for sure the MBA in International Business and the Master in Insurance and Risk Management. So I kindly ask my colleague, Antonietta Barone, to introduce you this program. Antonietta is the program manager of the Master in Insurance and Risk Management. And with Antonietta, we have the honor to ask today the program director of the Master in Insurance and Risk Management, Federica Seganti. Thank you, Antonietta, and the floor is yours.
Good morning or good afternoon to all of the participants. Thank you very much for being here today virtually and to attend this presentation. I give the floor to Professor Seganti for explaining you a little bit what the curriculum of the program consists of, and then I will take the floor again to speak about the admission process. So please, Professor Seganti, I leave the floor again. We cannot hear you.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you. Rewind. Thank you, Antonietta, and thank you, Carolina, to introduce me. I'm the director of the Master in Insurance and Risk Management. My name is Federica Seganti, and I welcome you to this meeting to discover our master program. Our master program is accredited by EFMD, that is the International Organization for the Business and Management Activities and Development, and ASFOR, that is the Italian Association for the Business Development in the Human Resources Management. Our master program is also ranked by Eduniversal could you go on with the presentation, Carolina? Thank you. Is accredited, and then according to this slide, I talk about Eduniversal later. These are more or less the most important figures and information of our master program. About the duration, generally speaking, is 1 year in the full-time formula. And for people that choose the part-time formula, generally speaking, is 2 years. And the track is very personalized, considering the needs of each participant. The students are, generally speaking, more or less half and half Italian and half international, of course, depending on the edition, but this is an average in the last few years. The language, of course, is English, and the next edition starts the 2nd of October. How to attend the master program, the large number of our students are on site and they attend in person. But there are some, in particular, international students that decide to attend the master, generally speaking, thanks to the part-time formula, and are, generally speaking, online. Most of them are online due to there are also employee of insurance companies or government in charge for the supervisory activities and so on. The main content of the program, first of all, is not only hard skill, of course, hard competence. We develop and help the student to develop hard competence on insurance, finance, but also on management and so on. And we have a very, very important leadership dynamic track that help the student to develop their leadership capability, because it's very important if you start with a managerial career that are not only a technical career, but also as a manager and future top manager of a company. If we consider the competences are, generally speaking, very, very fit to the new deal in the markets. I mean, we have a committee that is composed by consultant and the top manager inside the insurance and banking sector, and they help us to fit and to update the content of the master according to the new needs of the business and the industry. For this reason, in the last years, we stress a lot all the innovation activities. I mean, generally speaking, innovation and change management, but data analytics, big data, new product development, and things and topics like that, because what the industry would like is that the new employee, the new generation start inside a company pushing the change inside the company, and to develop the innovation inside the organization. The teaching methods, of course, are innovative too. We use of course, the normal way to start is some frontal activities, but after this first part that help you to give you models and formula and so on, we start with a practical approach. I mean, we put in practice what we have studied, thanks to business case, business game, a lot of activity inside the group that help to put in practice the theoretical model side and put in practice into the business. For this reason, we have, again, a mix between academic professor and people coming from the business, like top manager professionals that are our, is not part, of course, of our core faculty, but are managers that are that help us to implement our master program from a lot of years. What else? What else? About the requirements, but I think that Antonietta will focus on requirements and all the process after.
Yes.
And, okay, go on with the next slide, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, again, about the international ranking. Our master program is ranked #3 in the world inside the insurance sector. That we are very, very, very proud of this level of understanding of the all the stakeholder of our business school, because the evaluation is done by student, recruiters, academician, other business school, professional, and so on. And so it's very, very important for us, and is the demonstration of the value of our master program and the value of the service that we are selling now. Go on, and now go more deep inside the curriculum of the master. Yes. Okay, fundamentals. Fundamentals for us are finance, financial accounting, and financial mathematics. And these are the most important part of our course, and are the milestone and on which the basement on which we create the building. The building that is developed considering the insurance business management, that is the managerial part of our program, not the technical part of our program, and are, of course, develop all the managerial attitude and needs that a company has, starting from finance, marketing, and of course, balance sheet, strategy, ESG reporting, and so on. Another pillar is made considering the technical contents of, and in particular, of course, insurance and actuarial management. That means how to develop a policy, a contract, how to calculate the price of a policy inside an insurance company. And for this reason, of course, we develop the life and non-life insurance, health care insurance, welfare, and pension. The base is the actuarial risk management and how to calculate and manage the risk. that is important not only for the insurance and actuarial management, but is also fundamental for the risk management. The risk management is, of course, developed considering all the business, all the industry is, for this reason, we develop a first course that is enterprise risk management, that could be applied to a manufacturing company, a financial services company, a chemical industry, and so on. After that, when we have analyzed and studied all the risks that we can find inside a company, strategic risk, political risk, other financial risk, operational risk, and so on, we then define which could be the strategy to manage the risk. And we develop the financial part in terms of how to manage a financial risk. I mean, hedging, using some instrument like future, option, and so on. And then we go deep inside the enterprise risk management in the financial services and insurance company. Finally, according to what is important for the industry, for our sponsor and partner company, we have put two other areas that are data-driven management, in particular big data management and machine learning for business analytics, and business innovation. Business innovation is how to develop a new product and service, and also the creativity work and digital transformation, because it's very important to understand how to approach, which is the new approach that you should have when you are in a working context, because it is not only like in the past face-to-face activities, but you should use a lot of different instruments to stay in touch with other people, not only inside your company, but also to interact with the clients, customer, and so on. And so it's very, very important how to do this and are able to do in the best way. Leadership and accountability is a particular track that we are very proud to develop. Is one of the most recognized part of our program at the international level, because all the recruiters, all the accreditation system recognize this part as very, very important, because we, of course, try to give you all the fundamentals, all the knowledge important to stay inside the business, but to have a good career inside the business is not what counts a lot, is to have a very, very capability to develop your leadership inside the company, leadership inside your group, to be a leader, to become a top manager. Of course, you should have a good knowledge, but you should be a leader. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult. Finally, the final dissertation, that is, we ask to all the participants to write a final thesis and then to discuss with the commission that is a board of academic of a core faculty professor. Other thing, I don't remember the next. Okay, I finished.
Yes, I think so.
Yes. Okay,
thank you, Federica.
Please go on.
Yes, I would like now to give you some information and details about how to apply for being admitted to our program. So first of all, the process starts with a submission of the application. The application form is available in our website at the MIRM page, and has to be submitted together with a personal resume. The candidate is then contacted in one day time, more or less, in few hours, is contacted by our admission team, and which checks if all the requirements are met. So the main requirements are a university degree, a good knowledge of English, and a strong motivation to pursue a career in the industry and financial services sector. Also, the leadership potential and personal development aspects are taken into consideration. Then some additional documents have to be provided: the university degree, some contact persons who might be contacted by us to collect some references on the candidate, and then a motivational interview is scheduled. The interview is usually arranged online using the Teams platform. But for the candidates who live in our region or nearby, the interview can be conducted on premises, so at school. After the interview, the candidate receives a link to complete 2 tests, which are in English, and one focuses on quantitative aspects and the other one on logical aspects. After having collected all the results, our admission team submit the candidature, the results of the process to our admission board, and the submission board takes a decision in more or less 1 week, 10 days. So after this period, the candidate is contacted again by the admission team and receives a general feedback on his application. This means that admission or non-admission. In case of admission, which is most cases most candidates are admitted, then the school offers an admission under certain conditions. So it is possible that the candidate is admitted without any waiver, so without any discount, or it can benefit from a partial scholarship or partial waiver. This partial waiver can reach up to 80% of the tuition fee. After 10 days after having received this admission letter, a candidate has to communicate his decision or her decision to accept or not the school's offer. If the offer is accepted, in few days, a confirmation fee is required, and the submission fee is equal to 2,500 euros. This is, a way to secure a place in the future classroom. If the candidate then not only accepts the offer, but actually attend the program, this sum is then deducted from the 3rd installment of the tuition fee payment. Okay, so this is more or less, the process. As I said, there are several partial scholarships available, offered by our sponsors and partially covering the tuition fee, from a minimum of 20 up to 80% of the whole amount. So now this is the list of our sponsor companies. As you may see, we have the honor to be sponsored by the main global insurance companies group, Allianz and Generali, but also from the Association of Italian Insurance Companies, ANIA, from KPMG, Mazars, which are among the largest and global financial services suppliers, together with EY, and the Fondazione Gasbarri Alleanza Assicurazioni, which is part of the Generali group, and Studio Floriani, that is a law firm working with the main insurance group. So now I leave the floor to my colleague Barbara Vidotto, who is in charge of the career service and corporate relations.
Thank you, Antonietta. Nice to meet you all online, to meet you all. Thank you for taking part to this session. As Antonietta was saying, my name is Barbara Vidotto. I'm in charge of the career service and corporate relations here at MIB Trieste School of Management. I will briefly go through some of the activities that we run together while you are, hopefully, you will be a student of our Master in Insurance and Risk Management, linking, of course, these services to the companies that Antonietta has briefly described to you. Of course, the role of the career service is a sort of bridge between the companies that you saw before and the students. So the aim of this service of the office and the aim of the school in general is to find the right match between companies and candidates. And to do so, we work closely together on a very personalized approach. This is something that we always like to highlight, because the number of students that we host here at school is important to know that we are able, through this number, to have a very personalized approach for each candidate, because we know that each of you have different ambitions, have different backgrounds as well. So our aim is to find the right match, both as well for companies who are looking for talented candidates. How we do so, we do different activities throughout the whole year, starting from the very, very beginning, when we have some sessions and workshops and seminars together aimed and focused on the tools which are needed to be on the job market, such as how to write an effective CV, how to prepare an effective cover letter, how to face a job interview. We do these workshops, and I always like to call them workshops because we work together on these topics, and we do as well some simulations, especially for the interviews. Sometimes it's good to have a refresh on how to face an interview. Sometimes it's the first time for you to face a job interview. So we'd like to go through this process. This happens usually at the first, during the first months of your master. So from October till January, more or less. Then from February on, we start to involve the companies, inviting managers to come to visit and to meet our students. We organize the so-called corporate conversations, so meetings with the companies, which aim is to better know each other. So the company, of course, are presenting themselves and focusing the presentation on some interesting topic, but as well, it's an opportunity for our candidates to enlarge the network and to grasp the opportunity that the company is presenting. Of course, throughout the whole year, you have the possibility to have individual meetings with me and with Antonietta in order to better understand which is the right process to take in order to target your professional goal and to reach your professional target. Just to give you a few numbers, and then I will leave the floor to those who did this path together with us a few years ago. Of course, if we go looking at what our students are doing, and especially if they're doing something after the master, and we are happy to say that when we collect the data and the information about the placement, so 6 months after the graduation, we are happy to highlight that more than 90% of our students are working. And if we go more in details, understanding which are the positions and the professional areas involved and which are the careers that our students take, we are happy to share, as you can see from this slide, that the positions are all in line with the program that they attended and in line with their professional goals. So the professional areas mostly covered are, of course, in the insurance sector, but as well consultancy and banking and financial services, and which are the professions, the careers that, especially in insurance, if we focus on this important sector, as you can see, most of our students are covering underwriter roles, and Leonard will be one of those, but as well more technical positions such as actuary or controller, but as well risk officer, compliance officers, brokers, and many, many others. As I was saying, I think that the best thing is to understand from those who went through this process a few years ago and what they are currently doing. So I'm happy to introduce you to two of our former students, to whom I say thank you for joining the session. Thank you, Leonard, and thank you, Enzo. Nice to see you.
Pleasure.
As you know, they are both connecting from the same office because they're both currently in Luxembourg at Generali Employee Benefits. Leonard is an underwriting analyst and Enzo, network management and partnership manager. So thank you once again. Of course, Leonard and Enzo, we will leave the floor to our guests, which are online, but maybe you could introduce yourself, telling us something more about, of course, how did you live your experience in Trieste? What are you currently doing? Thank you so much.
Okay. First of all, can you hear us, right?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Nice. Okay, nice to meet you all. I'm Enzo Iannuzzi. I'm originally from Chile, born and raised in Chile. It was pretty weird how I did get to the MIB in Trieste, but I'm so glad that I did. What can I say of the path at the beginning? Like, I never had an interaction with the insurance before. Like, I didn't have previous experience with insurance. So at the beginning, I was a little bit afraid, but what can I say is that the program is taking you through all the process of an insurance industry plus the risk management part. I can say now that I'm working here in Generali that the program is perfect. It's covering all what you need for the industry and the basis of the insurance part, of course. Then it's up to you. How do you respond to the work? What else I can say now? I can talk a little bit of what am I doing. I think that not for everyone is clear what is network management and partnership. We work for Generali Employee Benefits, which is a reinsurance company. Our main business is we have network partners through all the world. So our main objective in network management is just to take the relationship of the network partner with the company and manage it. Meaning, if, for example, Leo as an underwriting has something to do or need to do something with a network partner in Chile, Nicaragua, or whatever, he needs to pass through me in order to deal with the network partner what Leonardo wants to do or want to discuss. This is what can I say. Like as I said before, the program is really good. It really gives you the background and the knowledge that you need to work in an insurance company.
I'll thank you for having us to begin with. The program itself. So myself, I'm Leo. I did a bachelor in economics, and then after the COVID years, I was looking to do a master's, and the master's in insurance and risk management was the one that called my name at the end. And similarly to Enzo, I have more of an affinity for statistics, but insurance was a world that was almost completely new to me. And to be honest, it's been a great experience, which has brought me to Generali here in Luxembourg under a technical role, if I may call it that. And the course itself was key to making it here, because not only does it cover every single base, and well, it covers a plethora of topics within the insurance and risk management industry, but it also touches different components of your being. So you don't only get the hard skills, but you get the soft skills as well, which is the people interaction, the human development aspect behind it. And then also you get the assistance and the great network that is MIB, which, for example, here in our company, I want to say out of 120 people or so, 12 of us at least will be from MIB. And it's an amazing network that has far reaches. And at the end, it brought us here with 2 full-time jobs straight out of the masters. I can't complain. And as ever, if you guys have any questions, we're here to answer anything.
Thank you, and thank you, Leo. Maybe while waiting for the questions from our audience, you already probably told us something, but how did you decide then at that time to come to Trieste to take our Master in Insurance and Risk Management?
Okay, so about me, I actually did apply to Origini, which is the other program that you have there. I didn't get it, so you proposed me due to my background, which I study finance in Chile. You offered me the master. I wasn't, as I say, I wasn't sure at the beginning because I never had like this connection or background in insurance. But then like the challenge that it's meant for me, like come from Chile to Europe to another country to look for my path, insurance, it was like something that, even though I didn't have the experience, but it was something that it was calling my name. I knew that it was something super strong in Europe. So for me, it was like, okay, I will take the decision based on how the industry is in Europe, what are the opportunities that the university is giving to me. They were promising. At the end, they and that's it. Like for me, it was more than a challenge than something else. Like I wanted to work in insurance. It was a challenge, and I'm happy that I take it.
For me, it was more peculiar. Essentially, I graduated during COVID from my bachelor's, and I was in a middle phase of applying for jobs with not a lot of job opportunities. And I knew, well, initially I went in for the risk management field because that was the section I liked more. But at the end, I saw the opportunity for the insurance and risk management masters. And after the not very successful application to different jobs, especially during COVID, I thought I need something that makes me stand out more and to develop myself further because there is something in the process that I'm missing. And so I decided to apply for MIB, hoping to being more of a stellar candidate in the eyes of the employer. But initially, I didn't apply for the insurance sector of it. I applied for the risk management sector of it, even though they do go hand in hand, which I found out in time.
Okay, Leo, can you please, maybe Leo and Enzo, can you please maybe explain what a typical day at MIB was in your case, but is and will be?
Okay, so during the week, let's say we'd have, let's say on average, we'd have 4 9-to-5s a week, something along those lines. The days would start really relaxed. Well, really relaxed, it depends if you're a morning person and if you like the wind. So essentially it would start at 8:15. Within 30 minutes by bus, almost anywhere in Trieste, you would get to university. Catch up, have some chit chat with everyone, and then get a coffee before going to class. And the life balance was really good because even though there are some very high intensity weeks where you go from 9 to 6 for 3-4 weeks in a row, like in February with the Monday exams, you also have certain periods where you have multiple off days, so you can fully enjoy Trieste. Because, for example, in May and April, we had more days off, so we were much more relaxed. We got to enjoy the weather in Trieste. We got to go to Barcola, take some sun. We would play football twice a week. So for us as a student life balance, it was ideal. And then Trieste as well has the culture of aperitivo, which is something magnificent as well.
Okay,
Oh.
any piece of advice that you can give to candidates about how to, let's say, survive during the academic year and also to get out the most from the program?
So I would say that, like, take advantage of everything what you are learning in the master. Like, try to go farther. Do not, like, if you stay with your knowledge and what you saw in the lectures, you will not achieve what are you looking for. I will say, like, try to understand, try to talk with the professors, try to work in group. This is what we do what we did in our master. We were like a really good group and we were helping each other. So I think this is the most important thing. Like, try to go further and stick to your friends. Like, try to make a good friends. This will be it will make it way easier to achieve the master.
Yeah, both socially and academically. And then also going through so many different topics, like going from marketing to non-life insurance pricing. There will be times that you're like, marketing is not for me. It's the one subject I don't like, or stuff like that. But to not go into that course with that mentality, because what is so unique is that you're able to expand within so different topics of interest, so many different points within the value chain of insurance and risk management, that it really gives you a complete and full perspective.
And hi, Guy, I'm Carolina from the Communication Office. There are a couple of questions from our audience to you. The first one is, what was the most difficult aspect to deal with during the master's course? And what was the most positive, on the other hand?
The most difficult one, sorry?
The most difficult aspect you had to deal with during your master courses. And on the other hand, what was the most positive aspect of your professional or student or personal life during this year?
Okay, for me, during the master, I was remotely working to Chile. So to have the balance with the study, social life, and working to another country, which is like 4 to 6 hours less than Italy, was a huge challenge. It was something super difficult. But at the same time, the best thing of the master for me was, as I said before, the group of people that I met, how the school gave us the tools to interact and to have relationships with these people, which really balanced my work with the studies. So yes, the worst part, it was for me working and studying, but the best part, which helped the worst part, was to have such a nice group of people.
For me, I'll say the toughest part for me was like, I'm not a very well organized person by nature, so it was the management of the workloads. For example, I think February was the toughest week, where we had 9 to 6 almost every day, and then every Monday we would have an exam. And even though that was the only time we had the only month where we had such a high workload, it was the toughest, because personally I'm bad at organizing myself and focusing and spreading my work correctly. But at the same time, that's one of the things I liked the law of this course, was it did put me in sometimes uncomfortable situations, or situations I wouldn't excel in. But then through the group and through the friends, through the leadership dynamics course, I found different ways to improve myself. And I think that's one of the best aspects of the course, is that everyone coming from similar but different backgrounds all come with different strengths, and you can really support one another throughout the course. And see the beautiful aspects from some people, like attain the beautiful attributes from others, and help develop the attributes of others with your strengths. So it's that's maybe the most fulfilling part of the course for me, or the most beautiful part of the course for me.
Thank you guys for your replying. And there is another question from Maria. From your experience, and maybe the answer, would it be workable for someone to join the master remotely?
My advice is truly try to not be working, because at some point you will reach a point that really you will feel a lot of stress. So my advice is try to just go to study and enjoy as much as you can Trieste and forget about work.
For the remote aspect, yeah, like I think we had a couple of students that joined us later on, and like Saad, for example, he instantly became a part of the group, but I feel like you do miss out on a lot not being in presence, because yeah, like the interactions with the group and having a lot of group projects, it's nice to know your colleagues, your classmates, like intimately. And Trieste is a beautiful city as well.
Okay, and another question, I guess Barbara or Federica maybe could answer. As the purpose of the master is to give access not only to the insurance industry, but also to the finance one, what are the main finance jobs new students usually get? Maybe Barbara or Federica can answer. Thank you.
Barbara.
Yes, of course. So yes, it's true. The master gives the opportunity to enter not only in the insurance industry, but most generally speaking as well about the financial services world. So if you think about working for the big four companies, of course, you will have to deal with investment banks, for example, working closely with these companies. Of course, and this goes back to what I said before, the idea is to understand together which could be the best opportunity to look for, which means that as Enzo and Leonard was saying, maybe you don't think about something when you start the program, but you start to realize that you are gaining the right skills in order to be able to apply as well for positions which seems to be maybe far away from what you were considering at the beginning. We do, of course, work closely as well with these kind of companies in the financial sector, in the banking sector. So financial analysts as well. Once again, if you consider the positions or the companies, then it goes back to the possibility of understanding together which could be the right match between the company and the candidate, and of course the opportunity that company is offering to our candidates.
Barbara, investment banking could be an option too. The question is also about investment banking.
Of course, yes. Both through directly with these kind of companies such as, I don't know, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, but as well through consultancy companies working closely with these companies.
Okay, thank you very much. I guess there is a last question, and after that we can, I guess, step further to the next section, the last session of our webinar. And for our graduates, what impact has this master had on your career and on your day-to-day work?
For me, in special, like I was living in another continent. So my first work here in Europe, it's mean a huge achievement for me. Like I start my career path in Europe, and my idea is to live a lot of years here in Europe. I don't know if in Luxembourg, but in Europe. So it's a huge impact for me.
No, I agree. Like for me, this has been the first window into a multinational company. Because essentially, as I said earlier, I graduated during COVID, but then, so I never had an opportunity to work for a multinational, and this was a great window into it. And to be honest, I love the work environment. I love the office. As you can see, I'm dressed very informally today. And yeah, like so far, like the industry I've fallen into, I know everyone has different experiences, but life-changing. So far, life-changing.
Okay. Thank you very much, Enzo and Leo.
Thank
No
you.
worries.
Thank you so much.
Contribution.
Thank you so much.
To this virtual open day. So best wishes, good work.
Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Have a lovely
Bye.
day.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you for joining.
Ciao.
Thank you. Ciao.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. And I am Gisela Chiarella from the marketing office. And I am very happy to be able to share about Trieste in this virtual open day, because I really, I live here from 2 years ago, and I still fall in love with this city every day. Its energy is really surprising me every day. Because even though Trieste, we're talking about a small city, and I will ask also if you can please move to the next slide. Even though if we're talking about a small city, Trieste is really cosmopolitan and it's very intercultural. It's a city that you can find whatever you need. Always, you have coffees, you have museums, you have the aperitifs, as the student said before, you have museums, you have theaters, restaurants, you're surrounded by the mountains, but you have also the seaside. So it's a city that really offers whatever you want. It's a city that has a very strategic position because it is not only in the north of Italy, but it is also in the north part of the Adriatic, and it also has a border with Slovenia, with Croatia. So this is also something that makes Trieste a very international city, and it has also a great cultural heritage from the Austro-Hungarian history and also the Austro-Hungarian architecture. Trieste is a city of coffee and insurance also because, as you may know, we have, for example, big companies as Ely in the coffee industry, or as Generali or Allianz in the insurance industry, that are basically settled here. So you can also know Trieste as the big city of coffee and insurance. And not only this, but also Trieste is a city of science and knowledge because we have more than 30 research centers. And we also have the presence of more than 10,000 researchers and trainers that are not only from here or Italian, but also coming from abroad. Another very good thing about Trieste, for example, is the quality of life that you have here. For example, in 2022, Il Sole 24 Ore, which is a financial newspaper from Italy, ranked Trieste as the best Italian city for its quality of life. So you may imagine that here you will have security. It's a very secure city. It's a very clean city. It's a city where you can study, of course, and you can also work because labor and business are also very good and important thing here about in the city. So this is what makes you fall in love with Trieste, and it is very important also to consider if you're coming here to study the cost of living. So I will also ask the next slide, please. And the cost of living, so it will always depend on your personal lifestyle. But if you want to consider in general the basic needs of your accommodation, your food, and your transport, we can say that you can live perfectly with a monthly total of 500 to 600 euro. And something that I will like to add here is that, for example, this amount can be maybe a little less because depending also on the transportation, because you can always take the bus, but Trieste is a city where you can walk a lot, and also, for example, maybe ride a bike. And this is what makes it also very affordable, no? Also comparing to other Italian cities. So this is Trieste, and if you have any questions, also I'm gonna be happy to answer.
Hi, concerning Trieste, there is a question from our audience. Maybe Antonietta can answer. Does the school offer accommodation support? Are there flats or similar for MIB students?
Yes, I confirm that we can provide full assistance to our candidates who look for an accommodation in town. We have a network of private landlords who usually offer their flats to be shared with other master candidates. And moreover, this year we have also an agreement with our region, an agency of our region, offering some studios for our limited number of studios for some of our candidates. But more in general, it is quite easy to find an accommodation in town, and I confirm that we support and assist our future students with this, as well as with the process of visa application. We prepare a letter for the Italian embassy in a foreign country, through which a candidate, together with the documentation that is required by the embassy, can apply for the visa in time, so as to come to Trieste by the end of September.
Okay, thank you. We have another question in a panel Q&A, but this is about the hybrid formula. I don't know, maybe Antonietta or Barbara.
Yes.
I would like some more information on the hybrid formula and which are the advantages of attending in person in Trieste.
So the hybrid formula consists in the possibility for our candidates to attend classes in person, so to come to school every day, or to attend online, since our classroom that hosts Master in Insurance classes is equipped in such a way that allows the online students to participate in class activities and to be able to also to speak with the lecturer and with the other classmates who sit in the classroom. So there is this double possibility. Of course, this hybrid mode can be, let's say, used in one mode or the other. So it is possible for a student to come to school for, I don't know, for some days in a row, and then for also for some personal reasons to attend some classes online. The advantage of being part of a face-to-face class is, of course, to share the experience, to get to know people more easily, and to have, say, a 360 degrees experience that's much more enriching with respect to a purely online experience.
Okay, thank you. It's another question about, about finding a job during the master program to cover the cost. It's usually easy to find a student's job to deal with the costs of studying there during the program.
Maybe I can go for this question. We usually suggest not to go through this kind of applications because the master is a very demanding master, so you have to be fully committed to the master itself. And there is, of course, we understand the reasons of having some pocket money in order to be able to have the right financial coverage for being in Trieste, but what we usually say is to really focus on the master, consider that you will be more or less 9 months involved in the lectures, and then you will be able to start to look for a job even before. This is something that we start to do, as we said, together during the master program, so to be able really after a few months after graduation to be already on the job market earning some money. So it might be possible, but really we never had this kind of experience, and because our students and our candidates really realized that it's quite impossible to put together these two commitments. We cannot hear you, Carolina. Sorry.
Yes, sorry. Where are the job positions that usually open up after the master courses in master course, in Italy or abroad?
We can say that both options are there. On average, we have maybe this last year, which has just concluded in October, we have many students which are currently abroad. More than 60% of our current graduates of the last edition are working abroad, mainly in Europe. Our international students, not European candidates, they usually go back to their home country after graduation, while Italian candidates or European candidates may have more mobility in Europe mainly. So as you saw, and you met Leo and Enzo, they're currently in Luxembourg, but otherwise other countries in Europe are mainly Germany, France, basically. Yes, these probably are the three main countries targeted in Europe. Of course, we just to add, since we work with multinational companies, of course, maybe we have direct connection with the HR Italian department, but which usually supports that in spreading and in sharing opportunities at worldwide level.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. It's another question for you. What are the key points for a company to give a scholarship to a candidate? What do they focus on usually?
Okay, so we have to divide this answer into two parts. So if a company already has an idea of which could be the ideal candidate they want to support, they usually design a list of requirements, which could be related to the age, to the background, and maybe to the citizen. Generally speaking, what are the main key points that companies are looking for in supporting the school in attracting international candidates is, of course, an interest in the insurance sector, but a highly motivation of being involved in this demanding program and an approach as well to soft skills. So together, this is what as well the company recognizes in our graduates is the mix of technical and soft skills, which make the difference. So a set of competencies related to the specific sector, combined with a set of soft skills such as flexibility, change management, teamwork, and leadership skills, which are really much appreciated by all the companies, and in particular with our sponsor and partner companies.
Thank you, Barbara. Maybe I guess this could be the last question because time is running very fast. Maybe Federica, you can answer our director. Based on your experience, which is the situation in the job market in the insurance and financial industry nowadays? I mean, I guess I think that our candidate is asking if the industry are hiring, the situation is, I mean, dynamic or not nowadays?
Yes. But if we consider nowadays, but also is quite a trend that we can see in the past, and we are confident that will be also in the future, is that the insurance companies are, generally speaking, they have a lot of job posting, and they search at national but also international level a lot of people because they are in charge to a new regulation. They have to improve the risk management inside the companies, and they, generally speaking, are very international company, because it's very difficult to find an insurance company that has present only in a local market. They are very international. They require international standard, a mindset with high motivation, high flexibility, capability to integrate with the different people around the world. And this is very, very important. Considering the banking system, I think the banking system has more is not so dynamic as insurance company, because generally speaking, the banking sector has a lot of offices and small banks in each countries, and considering the new instrument and the home banking nowadays, some professionals are not more not so interesting for the banking system, and for this reason they are less than the insurance company, because insurance company, as generally speaking, are more present on web and as a sales force, and they operate thanks to brokers that are independent and agents that are generally speaking independent. So they have not the heavy of the retail network as the banks. So I think that generally speaking, the financial sector is dynamic, but in particular the insurance.
Okay, our attendees are sending the appreciation for the presentation, and thank you all of you for attending.
Thank you very much.
And okay, I leave the floor to Antonietta for the last words about this webinar.
Yes, as Carolina said, we are available to answer any questions also after this meeting, this virtual meeting. And we do hope to receive your applications soon and to meet you virtually or at school for the selection and admission process. So thank you very much, and see you soon in Trieste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.